So here's just a quick boss guide for every boss in the wilderness on how to kill them and how to get there and all that. The wilderness bosses are pretty easy, so if you've only just started to get into bossing, then this guide might help. So first of all, let me just show you this screenshot that I made. This has the location to every boss in the wilderness. So if you're just looking for where specific boss is, then here you go. I've seen a ton of guides around and they never actually show where the boss location is on the map. And it's really annoying, so I hope this helps out a bit. So the first boss we'll cover is Spindle, which is probably one of the easiest of the wilderness bosses. The boss is located here on the map. So what you'll want to bring is a stamina potion, some prayer potions, some food, and a one-click teleport like this royal seed pod. You can get these by talking to the gnome at the bottom of the tree in the gnome stronghold if you've done the quest. So if you see a PKer and you're in level 30 wilderness or below, then just click your royal seed pod and you're all good. And you want to bring something like some amethyst darts to deal with the little spiralings that will spawn sometimes. Really quickly, if you're going to be doing wilderness bosses, then if you have the money, then the Usain chain mace is a really good weapon. It deals a massive 50% extra damage to monsters in the wilderness, and it is so worth the money. I highly recommend it. To use it, you just put 1000 Revenant ether in it to activate it, and then put in like 150 to 300 ether in it to give it some charges. So to kill Spindle, just drop in the hole and pray melee the whole time. Start attacking Spindle and sometimes she'll spawn these little spiderlings. Just switch to your darts and then kill those off and then switch back to your chain mace. Or you can just hit them with your chain mace, but the darts are a bit faster. When you're attacking her, try and stand at the edge of the map, because I think every third or fourth time she moves, she'll spit a spider web at you, so when you see that coming, just run away. And if you stand in the spider web, then it'll start draining your run energy and your prayer. So standing at the side of the map will sort of lure the spider web onto the edge so it doesn't get in the way. It's not that bad, but that's how you kill Spindle. Before I get on to the next bosses, I'm just going to talk about the wilderness real quick. Everyone seems to be really scared of the wilderness because of PKers, but honestly, you don't need to risk that much to kill these bosses. So for every boss, I just bring 3 really good expensive items, which will obviously be kept upon death, and then you can just literally wear any other cheap items for the rest of your gear. Like some black d'hide, an uncharged amulet of glory, and an uncharged combat bracelet is really good and cheap. So if you do get PK'd, then you're only risking like 100 to 300k. Sometimes I can go for hours without being PK'd, but I can't stress enough that you definitely need to go to this setting and turn on PK skull prevention. I once lost a blowpipe because I didn't have this on because I accidentally clicked on another player. But seriously, don't be intimidated by the wilderness, and if you do get PK'd, don't be bothered by it, because they're really only getting like 100 to 300k on you depending on what supplies you have. Anyways, the next boss we're going to look at is Venonatis, which is located here on the map. It's literally the exact same as Spindle, except she has more health. So there's not much to go over other than it's a bit deeper in the wilderness, so it's in the multi-combat zone, so you can bring a friend to help you out if you want, but it's also completely possible to solo her. The next boss I'm going to go over is Calvarion, who is located here on the map, just underneath Spindle. Also, another quick tip is to do this in worlds that have a high total skill level, because they don't have many players in them and it's a lot more unlikely to run into PKers. So for Veon, just bring your normal setup with your Usain chain mace, a stamina potion, some prayer potions, a combat potion, and some food. So you can just pray melee the whole time, because when he gets to half health, he'll spawn dogs. So just drop in and start attacking him, and you'll pretty much just want to be running around a lot because he casts these lightning bolts, which you need to stand one tile away from, otherwise you'll take some damage. And the second ability is he'll cast like these shadows on the ground. You just need to run away from that and you won't get hit. When he gets to half health, he'll spawn some dogs, so just kill those off. And then when all of his health is gone, he'll spawn lightning around him, so just run away from that. And he'll turn orange, and this is his second phase, which is the exact same as the first phase. So yeah, just keep doing the same thing until he's dead. Just a quick tip, there's not many bots around at the moment. Jagex has been doing a pretty good job at banning all of the bots lately. But if the bot situation starts to get really bad again, and if you're having trouble finding a world, especially for bosses like Calvarion and Spindle, then all that you need to do is bring a cheap wizard hat and any staff with you, and just equip those before you drop into the cave, and the bots will just teleport away. Because I guess they just think that you're a PKer, so they just leave. And the next boss I'm going to talk about is Calvarion's big brother Veon, who is located here on the map. Veon is the exact same as Calvarion, except he just has more health and he's in multi-combat, so there's not much to talk about here. Even though he has more health, he's still pretty easy to solo. But anyways, on to the next boss. The next boss is the Crazy Archaeologist, which is probably the easiest boss in the game. So if you're new to bossing, then this is a really fun boss to kill. The Crazy Archaeologist is located here on the map. You can just buy a Dariak teleport off the Grand Exchange and it'll teleport you right where he is. He's weak to magic, so just bring like a Iban staff or Trident of the Sea or Trident of the Swamp. 2 other expensive items and just some cheap magic items. It's really easy, just pray range the whole time Every now and then he'll have text above his head that'll say Reign of Knowledge. He'll throw some books at you, which you'll just need to run away a couple of tiles, and then you'll be all good and go back to attacking him. The next boss is Scorpia, who is weak to magic as well. So just bring a similar setup like you did with the crazy archaeologist. Scorpia is located here on the map. You'll want to bring an anti-venom potion with you, otherwise you'll get poisoned while you're in here. And then you'll want to bring some runes for snares, or if you have free spells like ice barrage and stuff, then just use that. So when you drop in, just pray range the whole time, because there's these little scorpions on the ground which will shoot you. They don't do that much damage, but it all adds up. So then the first thing you'll want to do is entangle Scorpia and just start shooting him. Just keep freezing him and shooting him and keeping your distance. Eventually he'll spawn 2 baby scorpions which will start healing him. So you'll want to focus and kill those. If they heal him to full health, then it's okay because they only spawn once per fight. Sometimes they'll spawn twice, but it's kind of rare. But yeah, just freeze Scorpia, shoot Scorpia, kill his little baby scorpion healers, and repeat. The next boss I'll cover is Artio. Artio is located here on the map, just north of Ferox Enclave. So if you want to kill Artio and Kalisto, then if you have the money, then you'll want to buy the Accursed Scepter AU. It's basically the exact same as the Usign Chain Mace, where you charge it with ether and it does an extra 50% damage in the wilderness. Then you'll want to hop over to World 330, go into someone's house and switch over to the Ancient Spellbook, or just use your own house if you have your own altar. Then depending on your magic level, you'll want to choose one of these freeze spells. Make sure you put your staff on auto cast Ice Blitz or whatever it is, and then sit back and cast Ice Blitz until he's dead, and just make sure he doesn't get too close. You'll want to pray protect from missiles the whole time because that's Artio's primary attack, but every now and then you'll see he starts to lean back and that will be his magic attack. So you just need to switch over to magic for that and then switch back to protect from missiles. There are other strategies where you freeze him and then you bring like a range switch and range him, then switch back and freeze them, and you have to kite him around the room and stuff. So I find this strategy a lot more easier. So yeah, you pretty much just sit back and auto cast Ice Blitz or Ice Barrage on him, and that's about it. The next boss I'm going to talk about is Kalisto, Artio's big brother, who is located here on the map. It's pretty much the exact same strategy as Artio, except Kalisto has an extra 550 health and he's a lot bigger, so he takes up a lot more of the room and it can be pretty hard to keep your distance from him. If Kalisto does melee you, then he does some really big damage. So for me personally, I wasn't able to solo him, but it took a long time because he has 1000 health. So I highly recommend bringing a friend with you if you're going to do this boss. And so the next wilderness boss is the Chaos Fanatic, who is located here on the map. You can just use a burning amulet to the lava maze to get to him. He's weak to range, so just bring 3 expensive pieces of range gear and some black d'hide or something. Just pray protect from magic the whole time, and when you see him start to cast a big green magic attack, just run away a few tiles so you won't get hit by it. For food, you'll want to bring summer pies because when you eat the summer pie, it leaves behind a plate in your inventory. And you'll want to keep a full inventory because one of the Chaos Fanatic's abilities is he'll try and unequip some of your items and armor. But if you have a full inventory, then he won't be able to. But yeah, I just use a blowpipe and just make sure to dodge his attacks when you see them coming and you're all good. The last wilderness boss is the Chaos Elemental, which is located here on the map up the top. Just bring the Usign Chainmail setup with some black d'hide and stuff. Just like the Chaos Fanatic, you'll want to fill up your inventory with summer pies because it will try and unequip some of your items. You'll want to pray protect from magic the whole time, and he also attacks with all 3 combat styles, so you'll be taking a little bit of damage. And one of its abilities is it'll teleport you a short distance away, so you just need to look around and click on him again. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward boss. The Chaos Elemental is also the easiest boss in the game to get a pet from, with a drop rate of 1 in 300. But yeah, that's about it. That's just a quick guide to every single wilderness boss. There's also the King Black Dragon, which is located here, and their Corporal Beast, which is here. I didn't include them in the list because while their cave is in the wilderness, when you actually go into the cave, you're not in the wilderness anymore. So, and then there's also the boss that's in the Revenant caves, but I haven't gotten around to killing him yet, and he's not on the high scores, so I didn't add that one either. But yeah, I hope this guide helped. It's mostly based towards new or returning players, but might have even helped out some more experienced players who haven't done some of the wilderness bosses yet. But yeah, the wilderness really isn't that bad, and you might even get some rare drops while you're at it. Anyways, that's about it. See you later.